Hey, my name's Chuck Cassidy, and it's a little bit of a different video this week. We're going to be flying out to Sacramento, California, where I'm joining up with Brianna from a couple videos ago, because we bought 3 buses at auction, sight unseen, off of just 1 photo per bus. We only meant to buy 2, but
Oops.
you know, things happen. Anyway, I'm flying out of Salt Lake City, Sacramento. We're gonna pick them up, take them up to her shop, and I'm coming right back here to Utah to keep working on these buses out here. Working with my buddy Devin. We are trying to save a few folks who had their builds sent down the wrong path. Anyway, my name's Chuck Cassidy. Don't go anywhere. If you want to see what it's like for me to bring home a bus purchased at auction, sight unseen, you're in for a treat. All right, so I've landed. I'm here at the school district, and me and Brianna just got these pulled out. We had to put new batteries in, which we knew we would have to do. But this guy's, isn't that cute? That's a cute bus. And then this guy here, also super cute. It's actually, this one's the same size as the bus that I live in at the moment, and the sun is going down. We're gonna try to get some hours in though. We're gonna grab some fuel. All the fluids look good, the tires look good. Like, we got some good vibes from these buses. So we're just gonna hit the road and try to burn as many miles as we can while the sun is on our side. But I'm a big fan of, look at, and the 5 window, it's really like a 6 window, shorty. These things turn on a freaking dime. Look at that wheelbase. Next to nothing. Oh, I got a good feeling. I'm not trying to jinx this, but when you buy a bus sight unseen, you know, it can be that way. And I'll show you, we've got another bus. Because we only meant to buy 2, but we bought a 3rd one. That guy. We're gonna come back for that one. Really stoked about it though. That's the bus that lured us in here in the first place, because that is a sweet, sweet unicorn. I cannot wait to get that thing. But these, oh man, they got air ride. They got air seats with lumbar support, hello. They've got the center mounted rear diesel tank, which I love. It's between the frame rails so that it leaves space on the side for mounting gray wire tanks and storage and stuff. The Mercedes diesel engines, but they're old enough. These are, I think, 2001 and 2003, so they didn't have any of the emission stuff on them. And that's really great because these are awesome engines. These diesel Mercedes, they're very economical on fuel. People are scared of the parts, but in my experience, the parts are not that much more expensive, if at all. In fact, my international parts are typically far more expensive than these Mercedes ones. And they're not that hard to find, and labor is expensive no matter where you go. That's just the way it is. But I am stoked. We're gonna hit the road, grab some diesel, empty all of our pocket change into these diesel tanks, and try to get the first 5 or 6 hours behind us. Look at it. Cute. And the yellow wheels, oh man, I love it. So real quick, before I get going, I wanna show you something that makes me happy. Do you see this white stuff here? That is wax. This school district actually waxed the paint jobs on their buses. Nobody does that. And look at how, look at the shine. They freaking waxed their buses. That's nice.
What are you doing?
I'm just recording. Here we are.
You're just recording? No plan.
No plan, we're going
Well,
into it.
obviously we had no plan.
We had no plan.
You know, this is in combination pickup number like 48.
Yeah, we've got a lot of experience, and so we were being pretty cavalier about the whole thing, to be honest with you. So we're at Les Schwab. Let's show you what happened. So we were driving. Brianna, you want to tell a story?
So,
tell the story, and I'll show people what's going on here.
This might be the 2nd time this has happened to me.
Ouch.
But when you're picking up a bus that have been sitting for years, you run the risk of popping tires. And the lucky tire to pop is one in the rear, because you can keep driving unless it was a retread and it's now flapping and hitting everything in the bus.
Brianna's convinced it's because it was a retread. I'm not convinced it's because it was a retread. I think it's because it was improperly inflated and it just happened to be a retread.
Gosh, I can agree with you, but not at the same time, because yes, but if it's not a retread, it won't flap like this.
We do have things flapping, so we freaking limped it.
So you drive about 15 miles an hour to the next exit, which is sketchy on a highway.
A little sketchy.
But we made it, and now we have to wait until the Les Schwab's opens to put new tires on.
Yeah, and that's not going to be cheap. And we were planning on new tires anyways, but we just didn't want it to go down like this.
Yeah, we wanted to drive for like 8 hours today. We both just drank a bunch of caffeine. We're ready to go, and we got 15 minutes into this drive.
Yeah, so I think we're going to leave it here and get some dinner. And brace ourselves for a long-ass day of driving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which it was already going to be.
Yeah, now we got like 14 hours, starting at probably around 10 a.m.
So there's really nothing we could have done other than go through and actually check the tire pressure. That might have prevented this. But even if the pressures were fine,
the fact is these tires were old. They told us they were old. Shame on us.
Yeah, they have been sitting, so it's soft
Yeah.
spots, and once when it pops, it's gonna pop. But tomorrow we're gonna replace a whole bunch of tires, spend a whole
Yeah.
bunch of money, and then be safe.
All right, well, we're gonna disconnect the battery on this one probably.
And this is why buses at auction go for cheap.
This is why auctions are scary and
Don't
fun.
spend $10,000 on an auction bus.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna deal with this. We'll probably just see you in the morning. Hopefully when we got some shiny new shoes on our buses, all of
Are you
them.
doing okay, Charlie?
I'm great. I'm fine. This is the way it goes. Perks and downfalls of my life are very close to each other.
The
right
good
now.
part
The good part.
is that there's food nearby.
There's food nearby. Yeah. So,
I'm hungry.
all right. Tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. We're at Les Schwab. We got the tires. All 6 new tires, brand new Toyos. We spent a lot of money on this bus.
It deserved it. It's a
It
good
deserved
bus.
it. And now we just have to drive 780 miles. And I think it's probably going to take us more than today. But we're going to cross our fingers that we have no more issues. These buses are really driving great when they're not blowing out tires. So here we go, hitting the road. Pro tips though. Check your tire pressure before you leave. We were too excited and didn't do that.
Yeah, likely that would have saved us the whole headache and driving that night.
Yep. And if you know your tires are old, like if the district will tell you maybe that they're old, go ahead and just plan on replacing them if they're older than like 8 or 9 years.
If we would have scheduled that into
Yeah.
our initial trip, like
In and out
get
in
to
like
the
an
school
hour.
district, get to Les Schwab's, then start driving.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna hit the road. Wish us luck. Hopefully we don't need it. I'm gonna show you how pretty these tires are though, real quick. Take a look at these. I mean, look at that. It's not every day you get fresh. This is a, big expenditure on the new kicks. And it turns out that the tires on this bus, the fronts are actually really good. They're only a couple years old. The backs are old, but we're gonna address those later. We wanna put different tires on those actually. So we're just gonna get out of here. Well, I figured I should probably do a little live update while we're going. Just went past, I don't know, maybe Shasta or something in California. And there's some steep bits and stuff, and I'm just so amped on the way these buses are doing. We were ascending, I think it was like a 6% grade at 55 miles an hour, and that's pretty amazing in a bus. I mean, these buses, the cool thing about these 2 buses, there are many cool things. They are extremely overpowered and over-transmission for their size. The fact that these have an Allison MD3060, which is the same transmission you put in a 40-foot coach bus. And we're going to unlock the 6th gear, so that'll help with the fuel economy and the top end. But additionally, they have the Mercedes MBE 906 in them, which is a big 6.4 liter turbo diesel. And because of their age, they don't have any of the emission stuff on them. They do have a DPF filter that was installed aftermarket by California, by the school district. And that can be deleted if you want, or you can keep it. And they function on both of them. So probably leave it, but if you want to delete it, since it's aftermarket, you're allowed to. So that's pretty sick. So I'm stoked on this bus. This is the longer bus. Brianna's bus is only 5 window. This one's like 7.5. Hers is almost 5.5. And what's cool about this guy, it's got freaking cruise control, which is very smooth and responsive. And since this bus has a lot of power, it actually can maintain the speed you set it to. But furthermore, it has this totally badass engine brake system that I need to do some research into. It's got 2 different levels. So these buses are from mountainous school districts in Oroville, California, in that area. They're equipped for mountainous driving, and so an engine brake, from what I can tell, when I put it in low, I think all that does is downshift the transmission 1 gear. I think. When I put it in high, I hear like a pneumatic, like an engagement of some kind, and then it sounds like I get some exhaust brake action happening. And that really pulls the bus back. We just went down, it was a 6 or a 7% grade. And if I put the engine brake on high was just slowing me down. Like I couldn't maintain speed with it, it was so slow. So awesome feature. I kind of am jealous because I live in Colorado. It's really mountainous out there and my bus has none of that. And no cruise control. And it's definitely not this powerful, jeez. Anyway, little update. I'll keep you posted as we go, as long as it's safe to do so. I'll show you some of these views. It's freaking beautiful up here. Northern California into Oregon, boy, I don't know if it gets much better. I mean, it might. The road makes me nuts, guys. But I'm having a freaking blast. This is what it's all about. And these buses, I'm just so stoked on them. They're really rocking. First fuel up, we've discovered that this has a small fuel tank. Not used for the bus. Tiny fuel tank. I mean, not that tiny. It's still like 30 gallons or something, or 25. Yeah. We don't know.
We're getting about 8 miles a gallon. That's not bad.
8 miles to the gallon though, and we're going 65 and it's hilly. So,
yeah.
All right.
Not too bad. They drive quick. Quick and solid. Take the hills nice. No overheating.
They take the hills. Okay, we're out of here. So all these Thomas buses, once you hit the highway, they love to whistle. So Brianna's taping up. She's taping them up. But I gotta give a shout out. I forgot this guy's name, but we pull into this very rural gas station out here. This dude rolls up in this gorgeous, 1960s era international pickup truck, like school bus yellow, just, tickled me. And I'm sitting there fueling up and I, come over here and I say, nice truck, man. And he asked me, he's like, do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, dude, I do have a YouTube channel. And it turns out he watched my videos. What a small world. If you're out there, was it Dylan? Oh man, I'm the worst. I should have remembered your name, but it was nice to meet you. Good luck. He's doing a camper on the back of he's renovating a vintage Type C camper. So it looks like a truck slide-in camper, but it was built permanently onto an older international pickup truck. I think his was from like the early 70s. That's like a dream rig for me. And that guy is very cool, clearly, because he has the same taste as me. Okay, now we're actually gonna get out of here. All right, we're coming up the Siskiyou Summit into Oregon, and pulling that huge grade, never went below 55. Just super stoked with the way that this bus rolls. I mean, it's a 250 horsepower motor, and wow, it rocks. And check this out, so we're coming up on the downhill. Maybe you'll be able to hear it or not. I'll go ahead and turn on the engine brake and you'll hear it go off. It's an exhaust brake, I'm pretty positive. It's pretty effective. This thing is awesome at climbing mountains. That's about all I can say there. It's a little mountain goat thing. Anyway, we'll just keep running. So we got a 6% downgrade next 7 miles, and I'm just gonna kick on this engine brake system, and I think that's probably gonna hold my speed. There it goes, just totally fine the whole way down. I might even have to use the gas from time to time. This would normally be a little bit hair-raising in a different style of bus that didn't have these features, but in this bus, it's just a walk in the park. The cool thing about an engine brake system is that it saves your service brakes, the brakes that are controlled by your pedal, for when you need them. So I'm maintaining my speed without wearing out my service brakes, because if those get hot, they lose their ability to stop. What they do is they convert your kinetic energy into thermal energy. That's what brakes do. And if your brakes are already hot, they're not going to be able to absorb and dissipate nearly as much energy. With this setup, I'm able to cruise down. I mean, I'm actually hitting the gas now because I'm going too slow. I have my safe speed at around 45, 50 miles an hour, and I can maintain that with nothing but the engine braking. And then if something comes up, I need to make an emergency stop, I still have the full capability of my service brakes waiting for me. And to be honest, it's almost overkill on a bus this short, but it's freaking nice to have, I'll tell you that. It makes going down hills a real breeze compared to my bus, my personal bus, which is the same size as this, but it doesn't have the engine braking capability, and it also doesn't have a lockup torque converter on the transmission. So I'm just relying completely pretty much on my brakes when I'm descending, compared to this guy, which is honestly like a freaking walk in the park. Well guys, day 2, we got the buses to the next location. We're about just a few hours from home, but we gave up because it's late. And check this out. So this is something that could happen to any of you. We were stopping and grabbing fuel, and then I got back in the bus, turned the key, and nothing happens. And it's not, the batteries are brand new. It's none of the obvious stuff. I get under the bus, I bang on the starter in case that's what's going on, and to no avail. And I really suspect it's the interlock. These buses have a system that'll not let you start it if the emergency exits are locked, because those shouldn't be locked when you're running the bus. Anyway, I mess with those wires, again to no avail. I look to see if there's a way to jump the starter directly, just on it by touching the terminals, but I can't get a good shot at there, and I don't feel like it's smart to just go sticking a screwdriver in there. It's like 1:30 in the morning at this point, and then I'm like, well, if I have to, I can really tear into this wiring harness and figure out the interlock, because I'm gonna do that anyways. But just on a whim, I look under the hood, because a lot of these old buses, they'll have their terminals exposed on the starter solenoid, and it's remote mounted. It's mounted up on the firewall. And sure enough, there it was. 2 bright red studs. I jumped across them with my wrench, and that thing turned over and fired up. It took about 20 minutes. It could have been 40 of mild panic, mostly just being like, I want to go to bed and I don't want to tear into this wiring harness. But we made it. Here I am. I think it's a Holiday Inn. I don't know. Brianna booked it. We are beat. But tomorrow, we'll be in. Here's a little pro tip if you're new to picking up buses. If you don't know the situation with the parasitic draws on your situation, I highly recommend disconnecting the batteries at night, especially when you get new ones, you know, like these guys. So we've been doing that every night. Is it overkill? Yeah, but it's better than waking up to a dead battery, you know? So we'll just get that fixed real quick. And I'm gonna show you how we did this little interlock bypass, because that's something that everybody should know if you're going to pick up a bus. Not all buses have that capability, but boy, is it nice when they do. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, if you find yourself in this no start condition and you want to just bypass it, it's this way on a lot of internationals, on some older Bluebirds. I mean, there's a lot of things. So you want to turn the key to the on position. Well, let's turn all this off, for crying out loud. And then you're gonna go out to your bus, and somewhere on the firewall is often a solenoid that looks like this. And you have 2 pretty thick gauge wires going to it. This sends power to the Bendix on the starter. And last night, you can imagine my joy when I realized what I was looking at when I saw this, and then just proceeded to arc it like that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Not all buses are like that, but if you're in a bind, it's a great thing to know about and go looking for, because that's a big problem that newbies have, is having something wrong with the interlock that prevents the starter from getting power on their way home. Maybe one of the deadbolts that holds the door closed slipped. There's just a lot going on there, and you could spend literally hours troubleshooting it. You really should remove that system eventually, but instead of spending hours troubleshooting it, that's a quick, easy way to tell if it's the starter or if it's just the interlock or a dead battery. You know, but we took the precautions. We knew our batteries weren't dead. All right, let's hit the road. We got a couple hours left. All right, well, we just got our last diesel fill up. We're like 10 miles from home. And the buses are doing great. We're like averaging around 9 miles per gallon, and we're gonna unlock the 6th gear on this. So hopefully that number will creep up, and we've also been going like 65. So, you know, that's not bad if you're going 65, frankly. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Washington is cloudy this time of year, you know? Holy smokes. Very successful bus trip, and honestly, not too many headaches. But I don't want to talk about that till I'm home yet. All right, we made it home. We're pulling into the compound. Oh, what a relief. It's always nice to get home after a long trip, huh? Hey, look, we made it. There's more projects here. Lots more projects. So overall, I feel very satisfied with our bus purchase. How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that we bought 3 buses. We had 3 chances. It seems like we might be 3 for 3.
So I guess, you know, our plans for this, you know, these buses could be yours, but we have some work to do on them first. And I don't know if we'll make a formal announcement yet. They'll be for sale. Later on, they'll be for sale.
We gotta fine tune them and
we want to
make sure they're perfect.
Dress them up, make them up to snuff, tires, shocks, detox the wiring, you know, all the good stuff so you can just start partying.
They're both great finds, but that doesn't mean that they come without work.
Yeah, these California buses are really cool. No rust or anything, but they have all these extra add-ons. This thing's got like Wi-Fi, GPS, tracking, security cameras, childminder, everything. So we're gonna clean all that up so that you don't get left high and dry like we almost did with that interlock problem. So anyways, mission accomplished. 2/3 of the way done on our impulsive bus purchasing extravaganza. Thanks for watching. My name's Chuck Cassidy.
Brianna.
We'll see you next time.